Thank you for joining me in another edition of Mastering the Math of Business with Lauren Young. Today we're going to be talking about the cash cycle, not the cash conversion cycle. That's a ratio. We're just going to talk about the cash cycle. And what this is it's a reflection or the mechanics of cash flowing out of a business and then back into the business. Businesses that are run well, that have owners in them that are living with less stress, are those that understand that what goes out in terms of assets and expenses needs to generate more than is spent, so that when the cash comes back into the business, it's coming in with a return against it. It is amazing to me how many small business owners get this intuitively. You can talk to them about it and they get this. But when you start to really break it down, you can see real opportunities to improve both the quality of life for the business owner as well as the amount in cash reserve for the business. And that's because your cash cycle shapes the overall health of your business. In other words, the speed with which you're able to collect the money with each sales transaction, and then the quality of that money coming in, i.e., how much above what it cost you to generate that sale do you get to hold on to. That's a reflection of your cash quality. So the faster it's collected, the higher the cash quality, the better the business is, the healthier the business is. If you fail to earn a profit on a sale, that means the cash that you invested coming down this right side in assets and expenses isn't generating a sufficient return. So that's a problem of price, or it's a problem of expenses tied to poor productivity. Those types of things can be corrected in most situations. The bigger problem is actually when you fail to collect the money you're owed. That means when you fail to collect the money you're owed, zero is coming in to cover all of those costs that you incurred. And this is why when you think about cash, you're thinking about both cash quality and cash velocity. Cash quality is a function of how much did you earn above what it cost, and cash velocity is how fast do you collect it. So for example, when a business is in this situation, in other words, the money's coming in faster than it's going out, that's a healthy velocity dynamic. It's when it's in this situation, when there's less money coming in and more money going out, that's where you're drawing against your cash reserves. And so it's not that these types of moments don't happen. The point is you really are working towards syncing up your cash inflows with your cash outflows. So let's appreciate a narrative associated with this. Let's look at it from the perspective of the cash cycle. How does it matter? So again, it's the cash quality and timing of your cash cycle that assesses your overall health of the business. It's not the cash conversion ratio. The cash conversion ratio is a good ratio if you have a lot of money tied up in inventory. But if you don't have a lot of money tied up in inventory, that ratio is not that important. What does matter is the quality and velocity of your cash. And that really is a function of your gross margin and your AR days. In other words, how long does it take you to collect your receivables? So here we actually have a business. It's an actual business that I wanted to show you just how important this is. So 2 years ago, this business had a gross margin of 27%. Last year, it was 25%. So this means they pulled in, based on their total sales, $260,000 less in cash on those sales, and so they stepped back in cash quality by the tune of $250,000. And then what complicated this business even more was that their collections went up 21 days. So not only were they collecting less cash quality, it was taking them 3 weeks longer to get paid. So when I was in with this client, this was a really difficult time for them because they had less flowing in, and it was taking longer for that flow to come in. And so paying attention to both your cash quality and your cash velocity is a big deal. And so how do you know what yours is? Well, you just need a couple of inputs. You need to pick 2 points in time, and you need to know your net sales, your gross profit, and your accounts receivable. And so you get those 3 numbers, 2 of them off your P&L statement, the third one off your balance sheet. You don't need any additional factors. There's nothing else that you need here. And then you just do the math. And so you bring those numbers in, you calculate the gross margin, you calculate the AR days, and AR days is accounts receivable divided by sales times 365. So that's the number of days it takes to collect. And so here you see the math that was reported in the narrative. It's that easy to calculate. And there's really no other math you need to do here. What you want to appreciate is how's my quality, and that's best reflected in your gross margin, and how long is it taking me to collect the money. And when you're in a dynamic like this, this is when stress starts to increase. So the thought I want you to keep in mind is if your answer to the question, do you struggle with having enough cash? If your answer is yes, your likely problem is you have poor cash quality. Many times you can have a velocity issue on top of that, but if you're staying on top of your receivables, then you know for sure it's a cash quality problem. And so you protect your business by managing your cash to ensure that your business cash inflows are always greater than your cash outflows. So as the money's coming in, you want it to be greater than the money going out. This is the purpose of cash management systems and tools. If you're in this situation and you're struggling a little bit with cash, then I invite you to go to business-cpr.com/C10. C10, this is our 10th article in our collection of articles related to cash. And this one offers the 10 most fundamental ways to improve your cash position immediately. So you can review this list of top 10 on our website. That's business-cpr.com, and you'll be able to start to better wrangle or get control over your cash. Again, your cash cycle, the flow of the money through your business, is significant. It's a function of quality and velocity. And it is about appreciating this. And when you know your cash inflows and your cash outflows, this is never a question here. This is why you have a cash management system. Because if your cash availability, if it's a question of what that is, then that's a sign that this isn't known. So protect yourself. Appreciate your inflows and your outflows so that you always know what you have available to spend. That's the key to not only making more money, but doing it with less stress. If you like this video, likes are always appreciated. If you want to engage, put a question, comment, offer a thought on something you'd like to learn more about. We'll be happy to comply. And then lastly, subscribe. We're constantly churning these videos out because we love helping business owners who are passionate about their businesses appreciate the math that will allow them to run those businesses more efficiently and with less stress. Thanks for tuning in. Goodbye.